you. Ba, 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 ba,
Please.
ba.
Oh my God. Don't look at mine. Go to her stream.
No, no, no. We're not doing that. Okay, so at the top, you have all your options, your file, your edit, your project, these things. The little
Yeah,
boxes.
yeah.
Little boxes on the hillside. Anyway, you go to project,
Project. Okay.
project color setup, which is the second to last. Click it.
Project color setup. Oh, I see it. Oh, wow. Pretty.
And then you go to presets,
Presets.
and then you have 3 drop downs, right? And just select the last one. So 32, number of basic colors, 32. Number of color tints, 4. Yes.
Oh, okay. And then color tints.
I just have basics.
Basics. Oh, okay, there's
But
so many more colors now.
You can
You're right.
choose. You can choose whichever ones you like best.
Oh my God.
And if you click on, so usually you clicked on your audio, right, to recolor things.
Yeah, I did. How do I take? How
But
do I
if
undo
you
that?
uh
Ooh.
if you just
Oh wait.
Hmm?
If I click on the track itself like this, can I color multiple?
Yes, but the thing is you can't have a single audio selected to do so. But your audio will automatically color if you color the track itself.
Yours has like pink on the side. How did you do that?
Pink on the side, like this.
Yeah. So like all of your pink. So like I clicked on this track. No. Wait. Unclick track.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I'll change it to this color. Oh, okay. It's
Yeah,
my
you
fault.
just
User
can't
error.
have the audio selected. So to unselect any and all audio, you just click on the field, anywhere on the field.
Oh, okay. So if I do like so
If you hold shift right now and go scroll all the way to the bottom and then click it with shift selected, kind of like how you select, kind of like how you select layers. I have the harmonies and the mains in different colors just so I can easily identify each of them. So you might want to consider that.
That's so smart. Some of your audio links are shorter. Are those like nested? Is that the right word? Like nested vocal tracks into like one bigger one?
This one?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my folder. So
How do you make a group? It's a group?
no, it's a folder, but there's also groups. So we'll go through each one. So I know you want to wait, but so right click where all your tracks are. They're highlighted right now. So not your audio, but your tracks.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I need to pull this up.
All right. Got it. You got it. Yeah. Right click there on your track.
Right click on the track on
Right
one
there.
track specifically?
Yeah, it doesn't
or
matter.
all of them.
It doesn't matter.
So like right click.
Right click and then add track. Folder.
Add track. Oh, folder. Okay, folder. I'm dyslexic. 1 second. Folder. Okay.
She's got
Name
it.
folder.
Name it.
Vocal.
Vocals.
Main vocal. Male vocal? That's crazy.
Main.
Main vocals. Add track. So then I can put that above and then I can shove shit into it.
Yes. But before you do that, make another folder, call it harmonies.
What if I already put one in there? Did I fuck it up?
No, you can pull it out. It's fine.
Oh, okay, let me take it out. Let me just okay. How do I
just pull it underneath like you're organizing layers in a PSD.
Okay, I fixed it. Oh my God.
You're good. Create another one called harmonies. And then add another track, and now you want to do the group one, not group effect, but just group. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7th one.
It asked me, is mono okay or stereo?
Stereo.
Mono configuration stereo out.
Yes.
Audio output name, and this should be
vocal FX. I just do FX, so it's faster, shorter, easier to see.
Cute.
Create another one and call it Harmony FX. Or Harm FX.
Oh, it's in the bottom. Okay. I got it. So add track, and then we're going to do group, and then this is...
Put your vocal FX in your vocal main folder. Your group.
Okay, so that goes into the main vocal folder. That's FX, and then this one...
The Harmony FX goes in the Harmony folder. Okay, now I do need you to sort out which are main vocals and which are not, and put them in the corresponding folders.
This one is ad libs. That goes in harmony, you think?
Nope,
Or
in main.
Main.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it need to go underneath the effects?
That doesn't really matter, but I do put it underneath, yeah.
Overdubs go into main. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of it should be the instrumental track and then your demo.
Yeah, I put the instrumental tracks and the demo above, like all the way at the top, more or less. Okay, maybe put them in their own folder since it's so much, and it's going to take up a lot of real estate and make you lost. So
yeah, let me add...
do a demo folder or something.
Wait, how do we do this? Add audio track? Wait,
add track folder. Group folder. Folder, yeah.
Add track group track?
No, add folder. Sorry, I got confused for a second.
Add folder track.
And you can shove them all at once by just having that shift selected and just dragging them all at once. Do you have everything in the folder?
Yeah.
From the demo?
Yeah.
Okay, then click on the folder to close it.
Oh my god, this is life-changing.
Yep, and then we can mute that entire folder so they won't hear.
How do you open this?
Just click on the icon of the folder again.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
Then we'll
okay.
Undo that.
Give each folder their own color so you don't get fucking lost.
And then will that change the tracks inside, or do I have to select all the tracks?
Yeah. Okay, great. So now I want you to select every single track inside each folder. So we're going inside the main vocal folder, right? And then select each track by holding the shift and selecting them all, except the vocal effects one. Do not select the group track called vocal effects.
Okay, I think I did that.
Okay,
yeah.
So do you remember here in the side, there was the E and the turn volume up and down and pan left and right? Okay, so underneath the volume control is something called routing or routing.
Routing.
Depending on what you want to call it. And it should say something like left stereo in and then stereo out or something.
Yeah, it says no track preset.
Okay, so what I want you to do is to click on the routing that is the out, so not the in.
Stereo out?
Yes. If you click on it, you get a drop down, right? And you should see your vocal effects and your harm effects in there. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay, so this one's a little tricky. I want you to hold Alt and Shift both on your keyboard and click on vocal effects. Okay, so now if you click on your main, so Rita, main, vocal, whatever, love letter, right? It should say vocal effects in the routing, right? Okay.
For out. So stereo in is still the same?
Yes. And then just make sure that all of them are doing that. So the reason we're holding Shift and Alt is because it routes all of them all at the same time. Okay, so have you double checked that everything that is now in your main vocal folder is routing into the vocal effects chain, which is the group, the vocal effects group? We got all those sent into the vocal effects group, yes. Now we're going to do the same for the harmonies. So I want you to go inside the harmony folder, select all your harmonies with the shift.
All except the effects channel.
Correct. And then go to your routing.
Go out and do harm effects.
And hold shift and alt and then click harm effects.
Yeah.
Now just double check that your harm highs are in there, that your mid harms are all in there. Just click on them one by one and see if it's all in there, just to make sure. So we're going to start and just set up like basic effects before we touch anything, okay? So let's go to the group channel, right? I also make this one a slightly different color myself just so I can easily identify it by just a glance. You don't have to do that, but you can.
Where's the, how do I know? Oh, is the group channel the one
called vocal FX and the harm FX? Yeah. But we're going to start with the vocal FX. Not everyone does this, but I prefer the workflow of separating my main vocals and my harmony vocals in this way so that I have less editing to do in the future, because harmonies are edited a little differently than the main vocals are. They're just a little more in the background. So I have a whole different chain for them. Just to explain why it's like that, okay? The first step in vocal processing for myself is to add a compressor. Sometimes you can add two. depending on the genre we're working with, but we have a reasonably dynamic track, as you can see over here. What that means is it has peaks and valleys, it has quiet bits, it has loud bits. And so we want our vocals to kind of sort of be the same. And so I don't double compress because that would make like so a compressor does the following. It compresses the sound, which is like the obvious part of things. But what that actually means in actuality is that it makes the quieter parts louder and the louder parts quieter. So it's like equalizing the signal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So I've told you this before.
Squishies.
I like the vintage compressor. So in the inserts, so it's like below where the routing is, there's a thingy
Can I
called
click on
inserts.
what did you say?
Okay, so you don't have
inserts.
this
Inserts. Yeah. I got it. Nope, I found it.
Click like the drop down. There's a little arrow there. You can click the drop down, type in VIN, then the vintage compressor should show up. So what I usually do, now this is just because I know how to use this. So to explain it a little bit, is the input is how hard we're going to compress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is almost all the way for me usually. So basically it's at 40 right now. I turned the dial to 40. We're going to compress pretty hardcore because we're only going to compress once. But then that makes it incredibly, incredibly loud all across the board. And so what we do is we turn the output down. And I turn the output down about -20, usually just about, like you have the midpoint, which is -12. And I just a step before that is where I keep it. The next step I do is Nectar. I know you have her.
I do, yeah. So do I just hit the exit on this and it'll stay?
Yeah.
Which one do you pick? Or just Nectar 4, just basic?
Mm-hmm.
Nectar 4, okay.
So most of the time, this is kind of a trial and error situation where you find one that suits your voice. For me, I have it on Make It Pop because that sounds really good on my voice. However, you have a little bit of a different tone. And I think what's going to sound best for you is maybe the clean R&B. There's like drop downs here, right? And the one that is called music, if you press the drop down on that and then scroll, it's all in alphabetical order. So if you press on the clean R&B, I don't know if this is going to be the one, but I have a feeling it might sound good on your voice.
Okay, so they just click that and then what do I do?
That's it. You cross out. So just to explain what Nectar's like an all-in-one situation for vocals. So you have EQ, compressor, de-esser, saturation all built into it. And it has a bunch of presets, all of which are pretty good. It depends on your voice, which one is the best for you. A lot of people don't like to use presets, but I love to use presets because it saves you a lot of time. Once you know what each preset does, it becomes way easier to do things really fast. So that's why I like that. Okay, next, we're going to add reverb. So let's open Pro R. So we're doing things in a certain order, right?
Why? How come? Why reverb next?
Right. So you can put compression behind reverb, so after reverb. However, it creates a really intense effect because remember when I said it makes quieter things louder? So what happens when you put compression after reverb is that it makes your reverb louder. So it makes the reverb go like really intensely.
So when we put the compressor on, right? So like the order, it actually does matter pretty big. Then. So like the compressor, it compresses the vocals and then it doesn't like put compression on all of the other effects. We have then compressed vocals and then Nectar 4 puts the preset on. And then on top of the preset, we're adding the Pro R reverb.
Yes. And then after that, we're going to do EQ. Sometimes a reverb can be kind of like dark sounding and it can mess with the mix. So we like to like EQ the things we don't like about the reverb out as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I actually struggle a lot with understanding how the reverb works. I was playing with it before. The settings, like I could never make it sound good. Like it was either way too much or not enough.
I see. That's understandable because reverb mix should be way lower than you think it should be. For me, it usually lives somewhere around like 8% on, which is crazy, right? It's very low. But what's important is the space that you give it. So the space is how big the reverb tail is. So like how long is it gonna reverberate? And for pop music, that's usually around 3 seconds. Don't put it in yet. We're going to add, just like everything else, we're going to save us some time and we're going to add a preset. The one that I like to use more than anything is called Vocal Gloss. So if you just go to the search bar at the top, type in Vocal Gloss with a space.
Right. Okay. So this is intense. What is it? What am I looking at?
So here, these lines are all indicating which parts of the EQ spectrum they're highlighting and taking away. So here you see they're taking out the low, they're boosting the high in particular. So you have the decay rate and you have just the general reverb, I think, line. So it's two different lines, but don't worry about those. We're going to leave them exactly as they are because stay with me. We went for a preset, baby. But just so that you understand what you're looking at the EQ essentially. Just imagine this is the EQ.
Okay.
So now you want to turn that space dial until it says 3. It doesn't have to be perfectly on 3, just near 3.
Like 3 seconds. So like we're going up.
Yeah, up. Yeah, there's different types of reverb. 3. Do you adjust the preset per song to fit the needs? Yeah. Yep, I do. I don't know if this is going to be good. We're just going to go for the standard and then we'll adjust across the board because her song is a bit more stripped back, I would say. I imagine we're going to probably turn the space up, but we're going to start with 3. And then the mix, I want you to turn that down to about 8%, 9%, about there. Yeah, it's like the last style, the last one.
Do I need to change the decay rate at all?
Oh, no, just leave it. Just leave it.
Any other adjustments yet?
No, until we have a listen to the song and everything in its entirety, we're going to leave it as it is. So the next step is your Pro Q4. If you hover over this yellow line, you'll see it looks like a little titty appears above it. Yeah. But if you go all the way to the end, that begins to look like a little slope. Yeah, so the slope is really handy because it's like a cut. Nothing comes through beyond this point. So if you click and drag, it'll look like this once you see the slope highlighted. Right, so one thing about vocals is that we basically don't want any of the low end. It's kind of a stylistic choice, but me personally, I don't like any of the low end. So I usually drag it to about like here-ish.
Is that like kind of...
it's between 20 and 50. The yellow line starts to hit basically.
20 and 50. Okay, I see. So like a little bit past here.
So I'm going to explain this a little bit. Every voice is resonant in a different space. What we don't want to do is take away where your voice is naturally resonant. So maybe you want to go highlight over, okay, let's click on the main and press the S on the main, which means solo. So it's the only thing we're going to hear at the time. So if you play that right now.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to put the Waves tuner on as well.
Can we do that first?
Yeah, yes.
So should we exit this and put the tuner on?
No, we're working on this right now. We can add the tuner in a second.
Can we switch the order? Like if we end up putting them in wrong way? Okay.
So if you click on the green dot and use your scroll wheel, you can see it like changes the drop point. So I like it to be quite a steep drop. And as I was just looking at your vocal, it was like quite, I'll move it to like here. A little bit more cut. A little bit more cut.
Can you tell me? It's little, so I can't see exactly what. Okay, so it drops off like around here. Looks like you were about right here. So it goes between 50 and 100?
No, mine's between 50 and 20 still, but like just a bit but closer to 50 now. We're closer to 50.
Is it more of a drop? Oh, so like this one here, we're closer to like here?
Yeah, I'm doing like a gentle cut in the beginning and then making sure it's like, take everything out of the low away. So between 200 and 500 is where the quote unquote muddy frequencies live. The easiest way to explain muddy is just like, it's muffled? It's like muffled, sounds kind of underwater, doesn't sit in a mix very nicely. That's usually the 200 and 500, this one. So if you click again, it makes a titty. We're making a titty, but we're hanging upside down.
We're making a titty, and you said that was in between
200 and
502?
If you right click it, you get like a little menu. And then you want to press on make dynamic. What that means is that it will only take away these frequencies when it exceeds this frequency. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like we have like -6 right now. So if it hits anywhere above the -6, it takes it away, but it doesn't take it away always. So we don't hollow out your voice. Does that make sense? So we're gonna listen to everything in context, but it's just like a little bit of setup where we start. It's a starting off point. It's not a finishing point. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah, actually. So you add in things that you think would work, and then you adjust as needed.
Yeah. The next step is to address the frequencies that make a sound tinny. Tin can, think of like 2000 microphone webcam mic.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I understand.
Okay, so we make another upside down titty, but this one's a little wider. We pull her down. So if you use your scroll wheel, you can make it slightly wider or less wide. You want it to be very wide. This one again, make dynamic. We're going to do another slope, but very slight at the end. That's it. Just touch it and you're good.
At the very end?
Yeah, at the very end. Usually because this sounds good on my voice, I want to preface is I do a boost around 6,000 and I make it really small. And this is for presence in the voice. Feels bright. It feels, you know?
Like sparkles, right?
Yeah.
Sparkly.
But the problem is that 5,000 is the frequency that the human brain hates the most. So that's why this one can be dangerous. So something that I instantly do is I make a really steep peak here because I know it sounds shit in my mic. And then just put her upside down. Yeah, and we make that one dynamic as well.
And
because again, we don't want to nerf our entire vocal. We just, whenever it's annoying, we want that out. So this is like the basics.
Perfect. Okay, so then whenever we listen, we see if it sounds okay.
Yep. But yeah, so this is the starting point for EQ. We'll probably touch it a lot. Okay, so you know how you said, should we change the order and such? We don't have to change the order for the following reason. So the group channel effects does everything all at once now because everything is feeding into there, right?
So it applies to everything?
Right. So if we tell the group to auto tune, it's gonna sound fucking insane, right? It's not gonna know what the hell's going on and which note is being sung at what time, right? What you want to do is put it on your actual channels. Now this is kind of tedious because I don't know why copy paste doesn't work. I'm sure there is this faster way of doing this, but because I have it set up on my template, I don't have to do it every single time. But basically, you need to add waves tuner to every single track.
Oh, okay. And that's just going to inserts and all I do is add waves.
Yeah.
Real-time tuner. Is it stereo or mono? Does it matter?
Yes, it does. Choose mono. So a copy paste doesn't work. Okay, so you can copy paste once you put it in there. So like I can copy the settings, but I can't copy the settings and to the thing. No, wait, we need to set the key first and all that. I don't even know what key this is in, by the way. Let me figure that out real quick. So the way that I usually figure out a key is to play the instrumental and then let me just add here, sketch. So I'm gonna find the note that works the whole way through the track. So essentially I just go ooh, ah, eh, until there's a note that I feel never changes. And that's usually, not always, the key of the song. And if it sounds sad, it's minor. If it sounds happy, it's major. Also not foolproof. Okay, I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, good luck.
I feel like it's the second one I sang. Okay. That felt right in my bones. C. I wrote something in C. What? And then it would be C minor, I imagine, because it sounds sad. So I have that on your main.
Natural minor?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have that on your main right now. And the way we check if this is correct is we turn up the auto tune 100%. So speed 100%, note transition 100%. And if it's going to sound T-Pain, right? But if it works, every single note is correct and doesn't sound icky, we got it. Let's try that.
Wait. So speed is like 0 or 0.1?
Yeah.
And then we turn the correction to 100 and those are the only two dials we touch?
No, note transition as well. So you sound like T-Pain now.
So note transition should be 0?
So now you check that, the C minor. I only needed a few seconds, is correct. You hear that it never clashes, right?
Why does it sound so echoey? Oh, maybe that's the other effects that we put in. Okay,
yes.
Okay. Do anything in terms of range? Do I change the range? Options, so we pick the key, natural minor C, and then we have range, bass, baritone, tenor, alto, mezzo, soprano,
I just have generic, yeah.
So we just leave it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so since I'm assuming we're not leaving it at 0%.
Absolutely not, no.
Okay.
The speed could be reasonably fast. in my opinion, again, this is all taste level. And what we're going to discuss now is all taste level. I like correction at 100% because I love the sound of auto-tune. I love the way it makes my voice sound. I love when everything is 100% in tune, especially when it's EDM music, when it's synthetic music, should I say. Yeah. Synthetic music is perfect, which means if we put a voice on it that's not perfect, that's going to be noticeable more so. So I like the voice to also be perfect. And then the note transition, a little less fast. I have it about 20 speed and 35 note transition with the correction of 100%. If you want your voice to be tuned a little bit more naturally, then I would suggest putting your correction at 80%. But I like it when it's 100%. Right on the middle.
We can see what it sounds like at 100. You said speed should be what?
20 and 35. 20?
Okay, and then note transition is 35.
Okay, so you got the speed and the note transition?
Yeah, 20, 35 at 100.
Okay, let's see if that sounds good together. So I can instantly hear that our EQ is a little too strong. We have too much tinniness, not enough nice low end, but I think this is okay. You can copy this setting and then the next thing, the next track I have is overlap. You can use the drop down again, add the waves tuner mono, and then copy paste your settings. If you go to your next singular track, click the drop down, add waves tuner again, mono, and then go to your previous copy settings and then paste settings.
How do I copy the settings?
You go to it, the ones that you've changed recently, which is this, and then you copy and then
click
paste.
Copy
on
wave
your other
tune
one
setting.
So the annoying part is you have to load waves tuner on every single track, including the harmonies. But then you can at least paste. You'll have the copies like saved, so you can paste. Quickly, let's just go back to the vocal effects chain. Go to the EQ again. Let's open the EQ on the vocal effects chain.
That's Q4. Okay, got it.
And I'm going to take a little more out of the 1K, 2K, and a little less from the 200, 500. Yes.
Okay, I got all of the stereo tracks set up, and it sounds great, actually. Wow, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, it's fun how that happens, right? So we're going to go to Harmonies group channel track. We're going to do the same thing for the harmonies where we're going to start with the vintage compressor and we're basically going to do the exact same thing.
And the compression, do you compress like usually? So you have the effects channels different. Mm-hmm. What things would you have different than the main track? Like what
the biggest difference is going to be nectar. The reverb and the EQing is all going to be very different. Yeah, we're gonna crank that input to almost the end and then the output.
So it's gonna go to like what, 35 and then 20?
Yeah.
Negative 20?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you got your compressor, right?
Yes.
And next you want the nectar again. Pull it and add your nectar.
And then I'm assuming we're picking like a different preset then.
That is correct. We're still going to go to the drop down of music.
Okay.
I want to go for the one that's called Clear Background Vox. So look in the C.
Clear Background Vox. Okay, so that's like background vocals, right? Vox is vocals?
Yeah.
Okay, click it and then...
Peep.
Oh, do I click this up here?
Yeah, click on the box that says EQ. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I just missed a small step.
Oh, yes. And then I'm going to move this little nodule back just teeny tiny piece.
The first one?
Yeah, because it cuts so much out that it's a little insane. Yeah. And then we're going to add Pro R.
Pro R.
And I'm going to do the vocal gloss again. We're just going to crank the settings to like 20% instead of 8.
You said vocal... Oh, the preset?
Mm-hmm.
Vocal gloss?
Mm-hmm. So have you done that?
Oh yes, but I need to change something. I have vocal gloss, and then you said change what?
Move this mix back? Percentage, turn it like to 20, 15, between 20 and 15, whichever you think is better.
And then this goes back up to 3?
Yeah.
And you said 15%? So this has more.
Yeah, this one, we want the harmonies to blend into the background really nicely, so I usually make them more wet.
Okay, very wet.
And then for the distance, I'm going to put it at 100% and the brightness also to 100%.
And then
so it makes it phase into the background, gives them more space.
And then we close this one and then we add the Pro Q.
Again, this is just my standard setting. So I'll just do the same thing where I just open it back up again. Drag it all the way to the end. And we're going to do this way more dramatically. But we all kind of already have that in Nectar. So it's not super important. but about here. So we only have the highs.
Is that between 50 and 100 or between 100 and 200?
50 and 100, but I did one scroll down. Yeah.
This one. Yeah.
And then pull the nodule downwards rather than keeping it on the line. And then we're going to make it a little wide titty over here at the end. So almost all the way scrolled up. We're just going to boost the end frequencies because we want the harmonies and such to be very sparkly. So I boost the ends of it.
Oh, whereas on the main vocals, we actually took out the ends.
Mm-hmm. Because it's quite harsh. Okay. It's quite harsh if it's like front in your face. We have all of that kind of set up now. So let's give it a first preliminary listen if we just unmute everything.
All right, let's do it. Yes.
Got the pen in my hand.
Sounds quite nice.
Waiting for the
I'm not to the vocals yet. I started at the beginning.
Maybe I never had it. Let me be honest.
I need to do my waves myself, actually. I haven't done it yet. So, parrot back to me. What have you learned so far?
So I have learned, and I gotta study this a little bit more, but I have learned the importance of ordering in the, I think this is a vocal chain, right? This is what we're making is the vocal chain on the side.
Yeah.
So I understand the ordering a bit better now, like the, where you would put things. I think probably whenever I was messing with it before, I was putting the compressor actually at the end.
Oh.
And so, yeah, I didn't know that like it mattered which way it went. So I see that, you know, you want to like add your effects and then EQ it to try to like make it sound nice. Cause like I was definitely doing the EQ first, then I would put like nectar in, then I would, you know, pray and hope for that, and then maybe add a reverb, but I didn't know how to do it. And so I was definitely living on hopes and prayers. This makes a lot more sense now. I also learned that if you put mono waves on things, it sounds shit when it's stereo.
Yeah, correct. So if you think it sounds kind of weird, it's probably a miss. Like if you had recorded it in this project, it would have been fine. But because you exported it, it wasn't fine.
Yeah, basically the original recording files are on a different computer that broke. And so I had to use the recordings that I sent. So I'm using like the same thing. Yeah. And I feel pretty good.
Control S.
Control S, yeah.
Save. Control S. I saw you save. You didn't do Control S.
Okay, sorry. Here.
I saw it.
Go.
I need you to have your finger on control basically at all times. Because it's good for scrolling.
Is it?
Yeah, scrolling. Zoom, you know.
Oh, you have to use control to do that? Wait.
Don't have to. But you could go in the corner and use the sliding stuff, but that's crazy. But I need you to have your finger on Control S at all times. And whenever you change anything,
do?
It holds it in place so you can scroll and zoom in.
Oh.
Like if you don't hold control, you just scroll through your project. If you hold control, you zoom in.
Oh, I get it. Okay, this actually really helpful.
Super helpful. You're going to be using that a lot.
I am, now that I know that it exists. Oh, shoot.
Okay, we want to turn the harmonies down a little bit because I felt like they were quite loud.
Probably, yeah. They are probably about the same volume as the main vocals.
Oh, there's something really important we missed. The de-esser.
Where do we put that? Where does that go?
On both, at the end. So press.
Oh, it goes after?
Yeah. So we're adding another insert and press des. There's just a standard Cubase de-esser. It's really good. Nothing wrong with it. It's really good.
I have it. It's right here. Yeah.
Usually on the standard setting is more than enough.
So I just add it and close it. It's done?
Yeah.
Oh wait, standard. Do I need to put anything in here?
Nope. It's automatically applied. So if you put that on the inserts, both the harm chain and also the main chain.
Got it. It's on both.
Okay, so the next part is basically cleanup mode. But before we do that, I don't remember what BPM our instrumental was. Do you remember?
No. And remember, we found out the other day that I probably can't use the same BPM because for some reason, when I convert the instrumental, it doesn't do it exactly the same length. So like whenever you exported something in 44.1 and then I converted it to 48, it ended up not matching the BPM perfectly. It was like really weird, but we can try it.
Okay, let's try it. In the bottom, the very bottom of your project, down here, there's like a play, record, whatever button, and there's one that says the tempo of the current track, which is 120, which is just standard, right? Next to that, it says a button that says tap. I don't don't know if you actually have that because it might be a new feature.
I say it says activate tempo track, and then beside that it has like arrows to change.
Yeah.
And then show time signature.
You have tempo track in one of your drop down menus, and I fucking don't remember. So I'll just tell you what the BPM is, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But essentially, tap the tempo tap is like you tap every time it hits a beat. So like da da da.
Oh, I remember seeing you do that once in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play the track, and I'm gonna do that right now.
Waiting for the inspiration to come back. Maybe I never had it. Let me be honest. Sorry, I've been down lately.
Is it 125? I'm very confused. Are your tracks on music mode?
Are they what?
Music mode. It means
Sorry.
it means they get warped whenever. Maybe that's your problem too. Let me turn musical mode off on every single one of these.
Do I need to do that too?
Maybe. Well, it seems like that lined up pretty good. Yep.
Got the pen in my hand.
It's 125. We did it! Okay, so we're gonna go cleanup mode now that everything is in time. So the thing is, if you change the BPM after you've done cleanup, it moves everything around and shifts things out of time. So we want to avoid that because it can no longer because here it snaps to the front. So it wouldn't be snapped to the front if you did it later. And so it would shift around, and that's not good. We don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out every piece of silence and fade in and fade out. Maybe take out some of the breaths, not like fully because then it sounds really unnatural, but like slopes, like fade in, fade out type situation. Yeah. There is a lot of room noise, right? We have a lot of in here.
My noise is very noisy. So, and then if I try to record under a blanket, it doesn't actually help because then it sounds muffled. But
what we're going to do is the following. So you grab your usual, your grabby thing, and you slide this all the way to the front, and then you can hold your control to zoom in. You can see what you're doing a little better. For like big pieces, you can cut them together or slide them together. It's not really a problem. Like the harmonies, for instance, you can slide them all together.
So like, for example, you can just like cut out things. Okay.
Well, I think I'm
And then you said fade them in, like fade it in very slightly, or like how close do you usually recommend getting?
So I'm going to zoom in all the way on your main. Let's start with your main because it's the most important one, right?
Yeah, I think that's main one, right?
The other one is the overlap. Okay, so about here, so I can see your breath is starting here, right? So I'm just going to slide it into the breath. So I'm not going to eliminate the breath, but you might have a different ramp. It might look a little different. I think the standard one is just like straight like this.
It is, yeah. How do you do the slopey?
If you click at the front of the slope, wait, have you done the slope? Oh yeah, you got it. If you click at the front of the slope, double click on it, like here.
Okay.
on the audio track itself.
On the track, this? Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
And then I want you to pick the first curve.
This one here? Underneath.
The first curve shape. It says like curve shape.
This.
And then before you do anything, press as default. So now whenever you draw in a slope, a fade, it will come up with this slope instead. Yeah, and then press apply. Set default and then press apply.
Set as default, apply.
And close it.
Ooh.
There you go. Now it looks the same, right? So we put these fades in so that we hear less room noise and the breath is a little less strong because breaths can be really intense when compression comes into it, because like I said, compression makes the quieter parts louder. So instead of going, it's like
and I already kind of gasped because I have bad lungs, so you gotta really
that's usually I do this to my own things. I do like the breath, I make it a little quieter because it just sounds more elegant. I don't know.
More elegante. I get it. Yes.
And the same we're going to do here with the D, because again, the D is going to be stronger. Slightly fading it into the D.
So basically we're going like line by line. So since that's really quick, you wouldn't cut in between the got the pen, because that's like
no, unless there's unless it's like insane noise, I wouldn't do it. But if I can't hear it, then we're good. Beautiful singing. Beautiful singing.
Me?
Literally.
Yeah, it's like
okay, I definitely hear some like in the overdubs.
Probably.
Which is fun. And usually I will time the overdubs and the harmonies and stuff like that as well. A little closer to like what you originally sang. Boink.
Oh, so like you timed the overdubs to like what the top line is?
Yeah, and balance their audio as well, because I can see this overdub is quieter than the other one. So I'm just gonna drag it up. For you, your volume control, right? For me, it's here in the corner. For you, your volume control is here in the middle at the top. If you see like if you zoom in, you see like a tiny box.
I see like a square and it's in the middle.
Yeah. So if you make a cut, it moves the box to the middle of that. So it's always in the middle of wherever the next cut is.
Like the current track is? Okay.
Yeah. And then you can drag it up or down depending on your needs. Mine is way more sensitive than yours is. And I hated this one at the beginning because I was so used to yours, but I like it now.
So do you usually like recommend like cutting all of them as you're going, or do you like cut one line, then go in, cut the other, time that? Like what is your workflow that you recommend for somebody who's new?
I would focus on your main because everything else is kind of background, so it doesn't need the same kind of treatment. But what I usually do is I get my little snippy, my little scissors, right? By the way, in case you didn't know, you can press 1 multiple times for your timer and stuff, and then 3, if you press number 3, it's your scissors.
Oh shit.
So if you switch between 1 and 3, you can go between your pointer and your scissors. But anyway, the first thing I do is I look at all the empty space between stuff and I just cut all of them.
Yeah, I just did that a little bit.
So let's do that to your
to-
main line. We're gonna cut all the quiet parts, all the silence. I'm gonna cut it. And we like to set our tempo track at the beginning of everything because when you want to add delay.
Oh gosh. So remember how you said that if we do this before we cut stuff, that it would break it?
Yeah.
Okay, I had 2 tracks that definitely were recorded in this project file and they've moved. What do I do?
Which ones are it?
Actually, maybe I'll just go and find the files that I sent you.
You can do that, or you can just time them to whatever they're timed to, unless it's like your solo part, then it's kind of shit.
I might be a little bit, you know what? I'm going to mute this. I'm going to worry about it later because we're working on something else. So
yeah, great. Okay, so you know how I just taught you how to do the fade, right? So a quick way, after you've cut out all the silence from your main, let's just ignore the first part because we've already faded it. But if you click on the field, right, not on anything in particular, and then slide while holding down, you can select multiple parts all at once. Do you see that?
One more time.
Click in the field and then drag while holding down. It creates like a selection.
Grab all of them.
Yeah, so if you have all the silence cut out, you select all of them, and then when you add fades, you can add it immediately to all of them.
Okay, so cut first, then fade.
Yeah.
Okay. Cut first, then fade. Okie dokie.
And then we go back to make sure the fades aren't too aggressive, which they are over here, but I'm fixing it. Have you done all your cuts and all your fades?
I'm about to add in the fades now, because I did a few fades, so I was just trying to figure out like where I had fades so that then I can...
She's such a good student. I'm so proud right now. Oh,
and then you said that we need to go and like have a listen and make sure nothing got cut off properly?
Yeah, so I want to solo the main instrumental and solo the main vocal, so we're not distracted by anything but that right now.
So then do I just... is there like a trick... Or do you just click them all?
At the top of your screen, there is like a big mute, a big solo, and some of them are highlighted. So if you, there you go.
Ah, nice. Okay, so then I can just do that.
Yep.
And then solo the instrumental.
Yep.
Okay, but the effects are still there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the effects, because it's rooting your main, so it's okay. Oh, you have to set the thing for the back as well. So let's just do one fade at a time again. Well, let's do one fade. I mean, click on one of your fades you've already done, not the front, but the back. Yeah, double click behind the fade again on the track itself. Choose the same slope. Yeah, go for that one, set default, and then apply. And now you can do the dragging and setting. Okay, let's solo your voice with the track and see if we need to touch anything with the EQ or anything like that.
Got the pen in my hand, waiting for the inspiration to come back. Maybe I never had it.
My it was cut off a little bit too far. I'm thinking about it.
Pen in my hand, waiting for the
Well,
inspiration to come back. Maybe
No, bad. Wait, hold on. Undo. No.
I think we should ring out our EQ because I'm hearing a lot of noise interference in your vocal, and there's not much we can do about that. Obviously, that's just the quality of the vocal that we're working with. So, but we can try and make it the best we can. Yeah, if you press on the vocal effects and open the EQ again, make a fat little, I'm making it a bit fatter than I usually do because I'm trying to identify your room noise. So this is called ringing out your EQ. We make a really dramatic spike on the EQ and figure out which noises we like the least. But this time, I'm particularly trying to locate like the room noise interference.
So then we play it while we hear that?
Yeah, and I'm gonna
no, I hated that. I don't like it.
Oh, no, it's gonna sound like shit. So I'm muting everything except the vocal to try and locate this.
Got the pen in my
Okay. I'm so sorry. Please mute yourself for a minute.
Got the pen in my hand.
Ew. I'm going to turn this down.
Waiting for the inspiration.
Okay, it's really intense here. Is the room, the interference noise lives at 13,000. So I'm going to take that out with a dynamic EQ.
How do you, okay, I turned it down a little bit. How do you hear that it's the room noise? Because where we put it before also sounded really shitty.
Oh, yeah.
But like, how do you identify room noise? Like, I don't understand that
pen
part.
in my hand.
Oh, it's gone. Oh, that's so nice. How do I explain that? So when we
there's
were
actually two of them.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
sorry.
have 5,000 because I know that's annoying for the human ear, so I take it out automatically. And then we have 14,477 is where I heard it's the interference I'm hearing of your, like, I guess, whatever is going on in your room, whether it's AC or fan, is like a pfft. So immediately I know by logic that is in the high end of the spectrum because it's a fan noise, a buzz, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I was listening to your voice together with the track, I could hear what it sounded like. So I tried to find that sound in the EQ. Does that make sense?
It does. I think the problem for me is that I couldn't hear it.
Yes.
I couldn't hear it. So I'm like,
It's
what are
like
we looking for?
It's like it makes your voice sound more robotic than it is. Like,
So do we
like
make
your
it
voice
really
is coming out
pointy?
of, yeah,
Like a
I made
tin
it
can?
make it really pointy because I'm taking out an exact frequency. Because if I take out a wider frequency, we're going to nerf your voice to the ground, and we don't want that.
How negative do we go on that?
I went to -20.
-20. And is the other one -20 as well?
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's around 5,000, right?
Yeah, the room tone is something else. That's like the room reverb type situation. But this one is like her particular setup, right? The interference in her voice due to her particular setup. So that's like probably PC fans, I'm guessing.
Yeah. That, and also my AC is very loud. I have doors closed, so like it's not as egregious, but it's still there.
We can find a room tone too. Let's do that. So we're going to do the same thing. Make another point. We're going to make it pointy. I'm going to go through the frequency spectrum.
Got the pen in my hand.
It's right there.
Waiting
Dude,
for
how? The fuck? I haven't even hit play yet.
To come back.
700. Oh, it's intense.
Oh, wait, I hear it. It's kind of like a woo 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 sound.
Yeah, it's like the echo of your room.
It's like a woo 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 woo. It sounds kind of like ew. It's like a woo woo woo.
Yeah, and that's the sound waves bouncing around your room and causing interference.
Got the pen in my hand.
But this one's trickier because it's in your main.
Waiting for the inspiration.
We got to be
So
gentle
do you do
with this
dynamic?
one.
Yeah. I pulled it down and I was like, oops, that's too far.
Yeah, so I made it quite small. It's at 777, just touching -10. Your breath? You slice into it with your fader, but don't be too aggressive because it can nerf it completely, and we do want some breath.
Got the pen in
Yeah.
my hand.
Awesome. Okay, that's cool. So then whenever we put the music back in, you shouldn't hear that noise.
To come back.
Yeah.
Maybe I never had.
There's still something
Got the
muddy
pen in
about
my
it.
hand.
How do you hear that? It sounds so good to me. Oh my god. I need your ears. Can I rent them for a day?
It's 200.
$200, Schmeckles?
No!
Oh.
For the inspiration.
I have
She was
moved.
lo-
I have moved
she
the
was
first
locked in.
titty. I've moved the first titty kind of to be exactly above 100 and dragged the slope down
Is
a
that
little bit.
this blue one here that I have?
Yeah.
This one to 200?
I've dragged it to -50-ish. above 200. And then the slope I pulled in a little bit as well.
Minus 50-ish.
No. Wait. Minus 10. Sorry.
Oh, no. I see it. Minus 10. And then you put it around 200? Was it under 200?
Yeah, it's hovering on 200. Scroll once down and then drag it down a little bit, that nodule. And then let's turn the track back on because we need a reference. And let's listen to that together.
Got the pen in my hand.
That's much better.
Waiting for the inspiration to come back.
I still hear something that's bothering me though.
Got the pen in my hand. Waiting for
I think I took too much out. Mine sounds weird. Wait, you try to move that up just a little.
I never had it. Got the pen in my hand. Waiting for the inspiration.
Perfect. Okay, I heard this. Yeah, you can hear it, right? There are many points in which the vocal is quote unquote annoying if you boost it too much, but not everything is an interference. So it's going to be tough to like kind of figure out which is what.
Instead of the voice sounding harsh. Sorry, you added another point right next to the other one?
Yeah, it's at 4,250.
Something isn't sounding right on my side, so I'm trying to fix it.
What is it?
It sounds like I'm hearing and I don't know if it's like my headphones being shit. Because sometimes I hear like what you can hear, I can't hear, but then I hear things differently from you. Mm-hmm. Remember when I was listening to the thing that you sent me and I was like, oh, this doesn't sound right, but then I listened to it on different headphones and then it sounded completely different.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out why. Like if that's a case for this particular part, like if it just sounds weird because of my headphones or if it's actually my EQ that I messed up. So basically what I'm hearing, by the way, just so that it makes more sense, it sounds like it closed it off. Like it almost sounds like we added extra compression onto it to my ears, but I know that's not right. So I'm trying to figure out like how to like where because it wasn't sounding like that before and now it does. So I'm trying to figure out like which point I added that, and then I'm wondering if we draw it back.
It's a problem I have with your vocals every single time I touch them. It's that when you take out that 200 hertz, you take out the character. But if you
Is that what happened?
It sounds muddy. So it's like, fuck.
Oh yeah, no, that actually was what I was playing with. Like I turned it down a little bit because it suddenly sounded, it wasn't muffled, but it sounded different. Like it sounds more electronic. Yeah, it sounds, so that's what you mean when you say take out character. But then if you leave it in, you said it sounded weird. Let's see. Oh, I hear it.
We might have to be a little more precise. So I've added an extra nodule at 450 and made that dynamic as well, but it's really small. It's really small. It's basically non-existent. So I pulled it up. I pulled everything up a little bit and then added another nodule right here. Just whenever it goes over this point, it's like, no, stop it.
Okay, you said like around right here and you just added like a small one and made it dynamic. And that's like above the line or below the line?
Below. We're pulling it down just slightly.
So if we take that one that's at the 250 area, that's the one that's making it sound weird, and then we added the second point and made that dynamic to try to like offset that. Is that right? So yeah, because if we move that above the line, then it sounds fuller, but it does sound muddy. So we have to find like a balance. So basically like the trick about the EQ is finding the balance between taking out the sounds we don't like, but keeping the sounds that we do like. And you have to figure out like what parts to sacrifice in order to do that when you have a lot of room noise. So it's like the room noise that's causing a lot of my problems.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're doing here. We're trying to be a little bit more precise about exactly where we pull it away. Because in an ideal situation, you just turn down that 200 like so much like I do for my own vocals, but because it's not really possible, we need to add some more nodules for a little bit more, like they call it surgical EQ. We do a little bit more surgically EQing this thing. So anything that goes above this line, we want it to be like compressed, I suppose. So we have a dynamic EQ instead, and it does sound better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it does sound better.
Like right here, maybe I never had it. Like that's too dark for my taste. Like I hear the 200 really singing back to me, but there's, that's the sacrifice we then have to make. Unless
Maybe
I
never
could like
had it.
automate the EQ to go even harder on that part, but I don't want to do that.
Oh, so like, yeah, I think I hear what you mean where it pulled away some of the richness, right? So
I
like
think
it sounds
that
like
one is too rich. This one.
Maybe I never
the maybe I
The
never had it.
the had it is like really had it. And it's also to do with how you're singing it. Like you're going into an operatic mode.
Had it, yeah.
Because when I go lower, I add more resonance to keep that signal the same. But when you go into an operatic mode, you're then using two modes of singing. Like you can darken your voice by going, had it, you can it's like the operatic mode, or you can go, had it, like add way more nasal to it, which is also
Like a bratty tone?
Yeah, maybe I never had it.
Had it. That's
And then when you do that, that resonance won't happen in a recording. And it's also, by the way, easier to sing lower that way. It's like training wheels.
maybe I never had it. I definitely sing it that way on purpose because that felt the best, but
It has repercussions.
didn't think about singing a different way. I thought I had
But again, if the room noise wasn't so intense, it might not have been.
it wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
What's a side chain? What is that?
A side chain is a term for ducking volume or EQ, whichever sidechain that you want at a specific trigger point. So in particular, I use sidechaining a lot for kick and bass. So kick and bass live in the same frequency spectrum, right? They're both low end of the spectrum. And when they play at the same time, they make each other sound like shit. So it causes like peaking, saturation, like interference. Let's just call it interference, right? A way to combat that is that whenever the kick hits and goes doof, right? A little bit of volume or EQ, doesn't matter, of the bass gets taken out. So it's like a trigger point. Do you understand what I'm saying? For me, I use volume control. Whenever my kick goes, my bass goes quieter so that the kick can cut through the mix. And why would you want that? Why not do it to the kick, you say? Because the drums are like the grounding point of any track. So you want that. You want that front and center. You can also boost the signal. Yep, you can do that too. Here at the bottom, there's like a little button that once you make it too quiet because you've taken everything out, you can pump the output level up. Aha.
Maybe I never had it. Maybe with the layers it won't sound so crazy. I'm not sure. I liked the way that the like strong dark tone of the had it sounded, which is why I performed it that way. But I wonder if that's just a better way to perform it live, and recording for a track maybe should have been different.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, because there's a very big difference between live performers and studio studio performers and live performers. Me personally, I'm a studio singer. My voice is not very reliable, so I'm not that great at live performance, and my hat is completely off for those who are good at that and have a very stable, reliable voice when performing live. But what's funny is that when you put someone who's like an incredible live performer in the studio for the first time, you do have to pull them back. You do have to, because it becomes it's very like studio recording is very precise, and the equipment doesn't always react the way that you want it to.
I didn't realize, like, because, I talk a lot about how it's really hard for me to, like, figure out how to put the emotion that I want to convey into my vocals, especially, like, when recording, because I feel like whenever it gets processed, I'm like, oh, okay, now it doesn't sound like that. And I think that's probably because the way that you need to perform it for the recording needs to be a little bit different for the track itself. But then whenever you sing it live, like, you can have a more raw, like, type of singing.
And there's a beauty in that too. Like, to have those two different versions and for them to want to hear you sing it live as well, right? You kind of low key have to take a lot of character out when you're doing a studio recording, because a lot of the times, for instance, I notice you do this as well, and I had to tame myself to not do that, but it's still sometimes hard not to. Is like when you sing a line like, for the things that I gave up, like the sound
cry.
in there, the cry, EQ, and autotune is gonna fucking hate that.
Yeah, which is sad because,
It's a fine line.
it would be cool to have like, or to be able to have like that same, I guess it's like, again, it's the differences between like a live track and then a recorded track. I didn't know that that was a thing that you had to be mindful of.
Yes, it's not like that obvious. And it's not something I ever considered like on the top level of my consciousness. You know what I mean? It's just something I've discovered by trial and error, by like doing it over and over. I was like, why does that sound like shit? How do I make it not sound like shit? You know? And then like you just realize after the fact that that's what you've done and that's how it's supposed to go. You know what I mean?
I think that's like a really good tip to share with people who are trying to record covers, though, is that, singing live karaoke version versus like recording is going to need like different types of takes, because I think people probably like myself who are a little bit newer into the music industry or into like music editing probably don't realize that. And so I feel like that's got to be a common thing, huh? Like with vocals that you've received in the past.
Yes.
For commissions where it's like, you try to perform it as wonderfully as possible, not considering the back end that's going to be done. Okay, so I think I got something I'm somewhat pleased with. I mean, as pleased as I can get. No, I didn't like it anymore, so I moved it again. Now I think it's right, but then it's the had it. That's probably the.
We're hilarious. I turned the overdubs on, and usually what I do with overdubs, I just grab the regular EQ. So like, when you press the E button.
Yeah. Oh wait, the overdubs. Is that's this one and this one? I think
I do this. I just boost their ends a little bit and cut their lows a little bit, so they're a bit more breathy.
So you add like a different EQ. Hold on.
Yeah. When you press the E. Do you remember where the E is? Shall I point it out to you, my love?
Oh, no, I remember. I have to add in like a different EQ because these are under the same channel. So I do a different one for each of them.
This one, not a different one for each of them, but I do this sometimes with the low harmonies because they can be extra dark.
Wait, are we in the harmonies or do I put the overdubs in the harmony?
I'm just explaining something. Like you asked, do you put it on every single track? No, I do it on the overdubs and I do it on the low harmony sometimes. And sometimes on the ad-libs, depending if I want a telephone effect on the ad-lib.
Oh, okay. And then we add in, what did you want me to add into that? Or we just do the EQ, base EQ and the thing?
Yeah, just this. Click on power up on one. Click power up on one. Yeah, there's a little power button right next to, there. And then just drag it down. That's like easier here? That way.
Oh, I see it. Okay. And then we have power. You turn off this one and then 4, and you said you brought this one.
Pull it down just a little bit. That's a bit much. There you go. That's good. That looks good.
Okay, and then we put that on both the overdubs?
Yep.
How do I copy it? Oh, wait, I know how to do that. Hold on. No, I don't.
Oh, that's nice. Tickles my fucking brain. But I'm going to select them all and turn them down a little bit.
Do I have to put them in manually? Like I do the same thing twice? Or do I kind of copy paste it?
I've never tried to copy paste it. How about you give that a go? It's just like, how would you even copy paste this though? This is the thing. It's very loud at the moment. So if you could select all of them, all the little cuts you've made or not, and I don't know if you made cuts of the overdubs just yet. Just select all of the overdubs and then grab it in the middle, the little box in the middle, and just turn it down a little bit. I put it at -7, but I don't know if it's perfect. We'll just check.
Oh, that's about where I took it to as well.
Yeah, that's good.
Is there anything that we can do to make the had work in this one without re-recording, or do I need to just suck it up and redo it?
What are we talking about? Which part?
The hat never had it. Never had it. Or do you think, I don't know. Actually, I can't hear yours. Let me listen to yours. Hold on. Because yours probably sounds better than mine.
I mean, if it were me, I'd re-record it, but like, it's up to you. Yeah. Can you live with it?
No, actually.
Well, there's your answer.
It sounds a little crazy.
The thing is, my love, that now that you have this project, right, with all the effects on it, all the necessary effects, and I'll
be able to hear if it sounds shit.
Immediately, you can re-record over this and just instantly tell exactly what it would sound like finished. You know what I mean? And that's the power of being able to mix yourself.
That's actually crazy. Yeah, better than me. Yay!
I put the boost on 6,000 a little more so it could stay crispy. Because we've
That
been
might be it.
cucking. We've been cucking a lot of this, you know, with all these
think
peaks and valleys.
okay.